Good day and welcome to SCO BRICS Insight, where we look at what's really going on in the world of the BRICS. Now today I'm going to talk about the serious growth in Russia's manufacturing sector, which is in direct contrast to the deindustrialization taking place in the West. Now it appears that the sanctions on Russia have not only not harmed its industries, but have destroyed those in the European Union. It was announced by Rostat on the 15th of February that there was a massive 4.6% growth in Russia's industrial production in 2024, which is a record level for the past 3 years. And if you don't take into account the post-COVID surge in 2021, then it's the largest increase in 13 years. Now, these dynamics were driven by the manufacturing industry, and it was not only defence enterprises that are provided with state orders that grew. I mean, despite the presence of several restraining factors, many industries have demonstrated the potential for further growth, although a slowdown in the level of the growth is anticipated in 2025. I mean, this year's, 2024's results surpassed initial expectations with plus 4.6% growth. It was a high watermark for the past 13 years. I mean, historically, December's consistently exhibited robust positive dynamics, which is attributable to the completion of significant projects in various industries. And that trend is evident in the latest statistics. In the final month of 2024, industrial production surged 8.2% year on year, marking a record since January 2022 when the post-pandemic recovery of 2021 was sustained. Now, before I continue, I'd like to make an appeal. If you like and enjoy my videos, you can help me fund the channel and my website, SCOBRICSInsight.com, to further develop it. You can do this by making a small donation, which you can do by clicking on the thanks button at the bottom of the video screen. Everybody who donates does get a personal thank you from me. It appears the growth rates observed in December and for the whole year are very encouraging. I mean, according to Boris Kopekin, who's chief economist at the P. Stolpen Institute for Growth, he said the growth turned out to be significantly higher than the 4% that was expected in the autumn and included in the macroeconomic development forecast. Now, notable industries catering to the special military operation, as well as those focused on domestic consumer demand, such as furniture, clothing, beverages, food production, demonstrated robust growth. I mean, the uptake in the extractive sectors promised good export prospects for 2025. Now, manufacturing continued to be the primary catalyst for industrial growth in Russia, contributing an additional 8.5% over the past year, following an increase of 8.7% in 2023. The key growth sectors were the production of finished metal products, except machinery and equipment, up 35% in 2024 after 27% increase in 2023. Production of other vehicles and equipment was up 30% after 25% the previous year. Plus the production of computers, electronic and optical products were up 28% after being up 32% the previous year. Industries that have received orders in the markets are beginning to stand out. It's also evident that the fact that business activity indicators for the past few years are at their highest levels, according to Oleg Abelev, who's an analyst at the Recon Trust. 3 industries are notable for their significant presence in the military-industrial complex, according to Vladimir Salnikov, who's the director of the Center for Macroeconomic Analysis. Now, it's unclear whether there'll be a demand for a further increase in their production. The volumes are already very high, and it's very difficult to maintain such growth rates over the long term. He does, however, anticipate that growth will persist, albeit at a slightly reduced pace. I mean, you have to remember, following such a substantial surge, a slowdown is unavoidable. And enterprises are encountering limitations in both production and available personnel to help. I mean, Abelev of Recon Trust also noticed the problem with the capacity deficit concerns as industry across the board. I mean, the economy is currently operating at its 80% capacity and it's producing and approaching the technological production limit. However, if they manage to build some new production capacities in Russia, then there'll be no overheating of the economy. He does note, however, that there's currently a physical production deficit in some industries, and that's leading to price increases. I mean, the fourth industry to have recorded double-digit growth for 2 consecutive years is the production of motor vehicles, trailers and semi-trailers. They were up 16.5% in 2024 after growing 13.6% in 2023. However, it should be noted that this growth recovery is very much orientated with the sector having experienced a serious decline of 50% in 2022. So in 2025 the recovery is going to decelerate as the automotive sector is going to face some serious challenges due to a slowdown in consumer lending. Conversely, the production of medicines and materials for medical and veterinary purposes is projected to exhibit a robust trajectory of growth, with an estimate of up 20% in 2024, following a slight slowdown of 1.9% in the year before. The return to high rates is attributed to successful import substitution and a growth in household spending. According to Solalnikov, clothing was up 5.9%, food up 3.5% and beverages 9.4%. Industries also experienced a positive outlook driven by the growing income of the population. A notable example is dairy, as reported by the National Union of Milk Producers. The trend of increasing demand for dairy products is caused by the growth of real disposable income of the population, and that continued to grow in 2024. The processing sector also remains positive dynamics. Ice cream continues to dominate in terms of growth rates, as Russians do love their ice cream even in the winter, and the consumption in this sector surged by 30% over the past 2 years. Now, the woodworking sector has shown signs of stabilising, with positive growth projections of up 4.2% in 2024, following a slight decline in 2023 and substantial growth of 12% in 2022. Now, the industry is confidently recovering from the impact of the closure of the Western markets. On one hand, alternative supply channels are being identified. On the other hand, domestic demand is increasing. Paper production is up 5.6% and furniture is up by 7.7%. And they also showed good dynamics. The chemical industry has maintained its positive growth trajectory. Production of chemicals and chemical products grew by 3.1% in 2024 after being up 4.6% in 2023. Nasalnikov suggests that the chemical industry's growth potential has been constrained by the logistical challenges resulting from sanctions and supply chains, and the June the 23rd explosion of the Tolyatti-Odessa ammonium pipeline didn't help. According to him, the sector's considerable potential for growth, which will be realised as the new port capacities are commissioned and completed. Now, the rate of mineral extraction continues to decline. It was down 1% in 2024 after being down 0.5% in 2023. Now, the situation is unlikely to change this year, either as a result of voluntary restrictions within OPEC or due to the other factors. There's also the potential for increased trade restrictions and heightened competition in global markets. I mean, for instance, there's an anticipated rise in the supply of American oil in line with Donald Trump's policy of stimulating extra production. One of the major industrial sectors, coke and petroleum products production, declined by 2.1%, and that was largely due to enemy drone attacks on production facilities. Metallurgy also showed a 1.2% decline, primarily due to restrictions on foreign markets imposed by sanctions. I mean, the extra demand for metallurgical products is currently weak, and the surplus in China is exerting pressure on prices due to its excessive supply relative to its domestic demand. I mean, it's elementary for China to dominate the global markets. Their metallurgy exceeds Russia's by a huge magnitude and volume. Nasalnikov anticipates that the situation is unlikely to improve in 2025, and he highlights the challenges faced by metallurgical companies in the domestic market. I mean, the abolition of preferential mortgages will effectively affect the pace of construction, and that's one of the main sources, housing, building, for metallurgical products. That said, however, there's potential for mechanical engineering, which is driven by the defence industry and import substitution. So in 2025 there will be a slowdown but not a fall in industrial production growth. Consider the factors that today, probably the rate for next year is about 2 to 3%, and in certain months and quarters you can expect even possibly more than that. But there's possibly also going to be a slowdown in consumer demand. And that trend aligns with the broader concept of economic cooling. Still, we can expect more or less positive forecasts for the development of import substitution in industries, and that's particularly optimistic given the shortfall in new production capacities. Now, representatives of the food industry are optimistic about the outlook, with Soyos Moloko confident that the trend of increased production of key food sectors will continue as the demand by the consumers is robust. Now, they emphasise the crucial importance of enhancing production. This should increase the construction of new farms, the modernisation of existing livestock complex, and then work to increase the productivity at their existing sites. That said, given the economic conditions characterised by the long payback for periods of projects and high investment capacity in the agricultural sector, plus the lack of affordable loans and other measures of state support, it's imperative that things do get done by the government. So Russia's manufacturing sector is in rude and robust health, the food, mechanical engineering, etc. So everything's looking good. It's in rude and robust health. Thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe, and also hit the alert button so you know when I post a new video. And if you want to support me, click on the thanks button and make a donation. And I'll see you all again soon. Thank you.